Welcome everybody to a much requested hair tutorial video. So I've been wearing my hair a little bit curly. And it's not just like big bouncy curls, it's like little small kind of ringlety curls that have like a little bit of a messy beach vibe to it. So many of you have asked me for the video on how to do it, so I decided to film a quick tutorial today to show you. I'm gonna speed up some parts that are super repetitive, but we'll get started. So when you're getting started with this hair look, I just blow dry my hair straight. I do have a little bit of treatment oil in it just to protect the hair as I use heat on it, just because my hair tends to be really dry because of the coloring. Clearly I'm not a born blonde. So here's what you're gonna need for the hair tutorial. For the actual curling part, all you're gonna need is a tiny little barreled curling iron. So this one is a 1/4 inch. This one is Helen of Troy. There's lots of different brands that are perfectly fine to use for a curling iron. I think most of them are pretty similar. You wanna use something definitely that distributes heat evenly, and also something that's just easy for you to work with. Some people like a wand with no clamp, some people like a clamp, it's up to you. All right, so I'm gonna take my hair, just blown dry and straight, and I'm gonna just section it off. So I'm just gonna take a little section on the bottom, flip this up. It's not precise, it's not exact, and that's totally fine. All right, so there's 2 techniques of how to curl with this wand. So the key to all of it is that you leave the end of the hair out. Whichever technique you decide, or if you want to mix them both, the main thing is you want to leave a little bit of the hair outside so the end is not getting curled. Whenever you curl the end of the hair, it really looks a little bit more like a prom curl, or like a 90s updo curl, which is like never our vibe, you know? So as you can see, the little end is sticking out. Curl it up the wand just for a second. And the key is when you pull it out, you pull down and you let the heat kind of ride over that end, just to kind of seal the end just a little bit. Now, another big thing is as you're doing this, you don't want to be touching this a ton. You don't want to be touching the hair. So this is like an easy way that I like to do the bottom section. So I like to just go ahead and use the clamp. I think it's easier personally on this bottom section. I'm gonna actually show you how to do the other technique on the top. So this is what I do. And then I just pull that out. See how easy that is? All right, so I'm gonna curl the bottom of my hair all this way. You can alternate sides. So some of the curls face in, some of the curls face out on the head, so back and forward. You wanna create like a little variation, because then it's gonna look a little bit more messy and unintentional, which is what we want. Isn't that what we always want? Just to look like perfectly effortless? Okay, so on this last section, these last 2 sections of hair, I'm going to show you the other technique in which I use for this kind of curl. Okay, so you can see what's been curled and what hasn't been curled. I'm going to take a chunk, and this might be easier for some of you, and you can do the whole head like this. It doesn't really matter. I find that they're a similar result, but I wanted to show you 2 techniques. So you just take your barrel and you just wrap, and then you hold about a 1-inch piece outside of the curling iron, mostly so you don't burn your fingers off, but also remember you don't want that last little tail to be curled, because then you get the prom curl. All right, and then you take it out and you just yank on it, just slightly. You're not pulling your hair out, you're just slightly making the curl a little bit longer, because what you want is an elongated curl, not a full bouncy curl. Some of you might find this technique easier, some of you might think it's a little harder. Totally depends on how good you are at hair. For me, this is a little bit easier actually, and it produces a curl I like more. And that's why I do it on the top. Again, alternating within the sides, so you don't have like a uniform look. Just pull it down. All right, see how easy that was? All right, let's do the back. So on the back, I like to make sure to get the curling iron really close to my scalp, because you're gonna have a little lift there, so you're gonna have a little more volume, which is what you want, or at least it's what I want, because I'm from Texas and that's the kind of shit we get off on. Who was it, Dolly Parton, that said like the higher the hair, the closer to God? I believe that. All right, so just twist. And then you're gonna twist and pull all the way over, and then I'm gonna show you what to do with the very top in just a minute. Okay, so I have all the sections minus the top done. So with the top one, we want to make sure to create lots of volume. So I'm actually going to start at the back and just start curling these up. This is really important that you get the wand really close to your scalp so you get that lift that we talked about before. Again, holding that 1-inch little piece out. Okay. Again, not touching or anything in the meantime. The great thing about this hairstyle is that once you do it, it only gets better with time. I actually prefer it on the second day better than the first day, which is like amazing. You can even sweat in it and it's pretty good. It really does actually hold up really well. So that's just an added bonus. All right, so this front piece, you always want to go away from your face in the very front because you don't want the pieces kind of like curling in. Okay. Gorgeous. That's like an ideal one. Okay. We're gonna keep going here. See this one, we're curling a different way. We're curling forward, different than the last one. Okay, pull. It's so tempting to go in and start touching these curls with your hands. I'm like, I don't want it to look like crispy curls, but you gotta trust the process, people. Okay, this is the last piece, guys. Woo. Okay, so this is what you end up with. Not finished product, clearly. I just like to let it cool down because I like the curl to completely set before I start running my fingers through them, just so you do want some bounce to them, which is, you know, part of the look. It's like a very wild hair look. So the first product I'm going to use, and products and this finishing part is probably more important than the curling, to be honest. I'm actually trying this new Tarte dry shampoo as my texture spray. So this is called the Hair Goals dry shampoo. I usually use Orbe texture spray, but I just ran out last night. So basically I'm gonna cry tears, but this will work great. I've used this before. So this will be fine too. Orbe is just like, you can't compete. It's amazing. Highly suggest both of these, but the Orbe is just like across the board, industry standard, the best. Any hairdresser, any like hairdresser on any set I've ever been on, getting my hair and makeup done, they have Orbe texture spray. Okay, so you're spraying that all throughout your root. Okay, so what this does is it dirties up your root. So you have, do you see the volume I'm growing? By just doing that. Okay, so you see the top, the crown, we're working that dry shampoo in, so you get a lot of lift. Okay, so next, I wanna take a hair oil, so treatment oil. So this one is the Neon & Co. It's a really interesting formula because it actually feels like water coming out. You can see how loose it is. And then you rub it together and emulsify it in your hands. You always want to emulsify product in your hands before you put it into your hair. Well, any oils or creams or any pomades, things like that. So then I go through and first I just massage it up into the hair. And then what I do is pull it down. So I know this is gonna feel scary because you're like, oh, I just spent all that time curling my hair. But you wanna just pull it down. It's gonna relax the ends a little bit and it's gonna seal the ends, which is what we want. You don't want a frizzy end with this. You want a really piecey end. So already you can see that is helping. And I take any like dry bits that I have, like see these dry parts in the front, and I work them down so you still look really put together. Now, I'm gonna give you 2 products that I really like, suggestions for getting that really piecey, beachy look. So, one is this Whey cream. So this is a finishing cream. And as you can see, I'm almost out of it. It's really great. It's not like a thick paste. It's kind of like that. That's about how much I take. And then I rub this together, really emulsifying the product in your hands, and then I run it through. And I start in the back and work my way frontwards because I don't want the front to have, the front is the integral part. You don't want to mess that up. So always like less product to start out is the better option. Okay, and then you want to just flip the hair, make sure you're getting it all on the underside, because all day I like to flip back and forth with this hairstyle and it lends itself really well to kind of having your hands in it. So we're doing that. Gonna go through both sides, really piece it out. As you can see, cool. Okay, and then any hairs that you feel like are getting, like this is getting a little fuzzy, what you can do is just take the residual pomade and just work it through the hair and just redefine your curl. And I find that you can do that all day long. Like second day hair with this, all I do is take a little more cream, work it through my hands, and then work it through my hair, and it's perfect. Last product, so I don't usually use these with each other, but I'm gonna use both of them today. So this is the Sally Hershberger 24K Superiority Complex. It is a very, very thick paste, as you can see here. So I just take a chunk out with my fingers, always emulsify. Really activates the product. You're never to start putting the product out from the jar like that. And then I just work this through the ends because I'm re-solidifying, and also I'm in need of a haircut right now. So what this helps me with is like kind of sealing my split ends, at least until I wash my hair again. Okay, so this is looking how I want it to look. All right, so guys, that is the look. Basically from here on out, I just let it fall a little bit. I don't like to take too much curl out of it because it will fall naturally. And I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. I hope it was helpful. If you have any questions, of course, about how to do this or any of the products I use, there will be links down in the description. But if you have any other questions, let me know. And let me know any other beauty tutorials or different hair looks that you want to see on this channel. Thanks so much, guys, for sticking with me through that. Please don't forget to subscribe before you leave. I hope you have a great day and enjoy your beautiful beach hair. All right?